Hey guys, good morning for a Monday. I see we've got a bit of a reverb here. Pardon me. I'm going to wrestle with this thing and hope I win. So again, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. We're going to turn this reverb down just a wee bit. Need to add some more equipment here. I think we're doing pretty good if I don't get directly in the microphone. I think. Hopefully everybody can see me, at least my talking head. So, like I said, I hope everybody's having a great Monday already. It's not been so bad over here. Quiet. Robert went out to help a friend. You know, I love those days. Got live chat this morning, of course. Pop on there. Not make it. Just later on, share, subscribe, make a comment. It's for entertainment purposes only. And I'll be here all week. Again. We had a marvelous time at our son's last night. We had a couple of setbacks that were awful. We couldn't see our granddaughter, but just to kind of wave at her, she was ill. And that broke my heart, of course. And we managed to get a quick little hug without breathing or on her or anything or making anything worse. And then she went back up to her room. And it was all I could do not spend the night and sleep in there and make sure she slept okay. Because her mother's a good mother, her father's a good father, and I know they take care of all that. But it's kind of like an instinct, I guess. I don't know. I adore this child. She's my sunshine. And my other grandson, my other grandchild, managed to cry off at the last minute. Managed to not feel well, and so he couldn't make it either. So there was the second disappointment. And my son, and they had gone out to buy more food because my grandson's father is also in town. He's really an Army hero. He's been shot 5 times. He's been in the theater since he was, I don't know, probably 18. In any event, they were supposed to all three make it over, and I was looking forward to that. We had met my grandson's roommate's father only the one time, and we all got along like a house on fire because all of us are veterans. Well, he's active duty, but we're veterans. But you know what I mean. It never goes away. It's like you've known him your whole life, you know. And I admired this young man. He's probably about 20 years younger than me, at least. And his son, like my son, is about 20 years younger than him. But I mean, we had a great time, regardless, with my son and my daughter-in-law. Um, and I actually he gave me he had so much food. He made hot dogs and hamburgers. It was a quick thing, and done a lot of cleanup. When you have all that many people, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when you're doing those dishes. And she had made me my daughter-in-law, and I hesitate to speak names now. That I think after realizing I could have put my granddaughter in danger by putting her up here, I decided, and I don't use my name. Well, I may have at one time or another. It's hard to say with me. Sometimes I have that note where you put the note to them so that they have the number and the address. When I go out to Walmart, I got one of those. Excuse me. We're going to put that away if it's going to make me cough. And I only usually smoke just a wee bit of it. And my husband got me the 5 pack of cigarettes because we were going over to my son's, and I think I have one left because I don't smoke the whole thing at once or even at 2 or 3 times. I hit it 3 or 4 times and it puts itself out. So it'll sometimes they'll last me 2 or 3 weeks when he gets me a pack of those would justify, and that's okay because I don't want to push the fact that I quit smoking, and so I use my vapor mostly. And I don't want to go back to that fight of getting loose. But my cigarillos remind me of Europe. We used to have to. You had so many cigarettes you could buy in Europe when you were in the army. I called them coupons, but anyway, we bought ours at the PX, of course, and they would stamp it or whatever they did. I can't even remember anymore. But the Germans loved American cigarettes, and the only way to get American cigarettes were to get them, of course, from those on the base. So we would go and get those, and this poor thing is in the way still. I don't know, maybe over here. I'm having a Monday morning. How about up there? Yeah, let's turn you down just so we. I'm sorry, guys. I am elbows over heels here. I had a great night. Like I said, at my son and my grandson didn't make it. Granddaughter was sick, but my son and daughter were there. She made me a new drink. She knows I love the Hurricanes and Logan's. And I'll drink two or three of them, wait for them to get there. I'm going to have a good time. And three is still my limit. But she made the most fantastic cocktails. And just, you know, put it together. She halfway worked her way through her master's degree by being a bartender. And I've known her longer than that, even over 20 years. It's like she's literally my daughter. I mean, her and my son have been married at least 20 years. I couldn't swear to the date, but I'm pretty sure they're, if not 20, close to it. And, here we have the 25-year-old grandson. He doesn't make it. The two people he's bringing don't make it. Um, so there's a lot of money was spent. So he just cooked everything he had prepared, and he had prepared the big hamburgers. He's a very good cook. And so he had prepared all that ahead of time, even though his daughter was sick. And they didn't say, look, guys, we don't know what's going on. We're going to cancel and do it next week. And they didn't do that. They went ahead and did, and it was, I was like, I had just seen my grandson the day before and had asked him if he was coming to the barbecue because I knew his father would have asked him to come. And he was with his roommate as well. And his roommate, I told you, tell your daddy, bring him. He's more than welcome. And we're supposed to come by my house to the bar. As you can see behind me, I have a mess because I finished my last comforter for Robert's man cave. And I put it in there. And then I went to put another load before in there. It's their bed. So forgive the mess. On top of everybody not quite showing up, I almost didn't go, and I was grateful that I did decide to man up and just push past the pain. I fell yesterday, not an hour before we left. I came upstairs to see Robert in the cave, which actually I like because he'll clean that as his. But the cats divide up. Sometimes this half will be there and then. So whichever ones don't show right up, when you pop that can, and believe me, they show up. Pixie claims my leg. Hurry up, hurry up. So I knew which ones that technically are going to be there for morning. And so I was taking, and this was, I feed them twice a day, just like outside. I don't see why anybody would feed their animal nothing but the same dry food for the whole life. It's ridiculous. I don't do that. I changed that up and I add stuff to it. And the outdoor kids, I put the dry kibble on top because otherwise they'd be diuretic. And so, in any event, I'm going in the door and I'm holding these little paper plates and stuff, and a spoon and some cans so that he can, while he's doing his stuff, he can finish that, feed them. It's just easier. And as I was coming across the threshold, he had started the wood flooring up there. So on the landing, it's the wood flooring. And then crossing into his man cave, that's why he likes it, is another, say, foot area by foot area that's also now been boarded. And it's difficult. When we did this originally, he put everything in a pot, put it outside. We don't want to try and do that again with our bedroom furniture and stuff like that. And he's got the stuff to finish the stairs, but it's going to be really hard. So in any event, as I was saying, a long story long, I guess I'm a klutz because I stepped over that and there was Ghost. And then instead of thinking in my head, that lady, you have one foot on the ground only. Do not pick up that foot. Listen to me. Don't pick up that. Picked up that foot. I was airborne. And I'm thinking to myself, it seems how, when things like this happen, time slows down. Because I'm thinking to myself, how in God's name do I tuck and roll with this? That floor's getting awful close. And I mean, I literally flew. I didn't just, I mean, I watched. So my husband's trying to, it happens so fast he was going to try to catch me because he's sitting on the edge of the bed instead of at the desk or whatever. He's sitting at the edge of the bed. And so I fall and he misses catching me, but he tried. So I struck, and luckily because he had moved forward to catch me, my face was headed for the metal railing at Woodside. And I did get struck, and I've hit that with makeup out, though I will tell everybody he did it. So that's so mean. But it's like I bent into a U backwards. Oh, that's it. And pulled ligaments or muscles probably in my right back, and almost up to the shoulder. And the right knee, the back, I tore something there because I can't bend it. It's okay if I don't bend it, so we're going to leave that open. I do not like hospitals, and if I can avoid them, I will. I have vague knowledge of medicine myself, and so out came the things to stabilize what I could. We got to go time. It's not going to disappoint them. They don't have a lot of time, and I knew these guys don't do anything by half. It's like we used to do. And they were expecting us company, and so the extra alcohol and the extra sodas and food and all that's there, and all he gets is his mom and dad. So he was so good about it. He rolls easy, my son does. He's an amazing young man, and he just got a raise, so he's as far as he can go, as far as that ladder. And I'm so proud of him. I can't even describe it. And his wife is a wonderful lady. It's just great. She's always treated me very well. We get along very well. And bless her, that's hard. If you're working with me, that's hard to do. Smooth as attack. And of course, my granddaughter is a reflection of her mother and her father, and there's some didn't kind of go that way. It's like he skipped back to the other side of the line into his grandparent, his grandfather. He looks a lot, and I mean, he's a massive kid, like a linebacker. And my son's only like 5'10", you know. So, and I mean, he's just not that big, but his son is. But his grandfather, God rest his soul, I loved his grandfather on the other side named Bill, and his grandmother. We all used to get along just fine, and then we separated out a little bit because I'm here, they're there, and we stayed in touch. Of course, this is why we all love Facebook. We had Facebook before Twitter. Twitter might have been out, but I don't like it. I don't do that. I don't do live chat. I don't do any of that. I do Facebook and I do an open podcast. And this is live, of course. So anybody that wants to jump in there, I have some of my algorithms went up. Not all of them, some of them did. So hit that like bell. You don't want to do anything else? No, just hit the like bell for me. I need those 1,000 viewers, and I think I'm up to needing only a few hundred more, which is freaking awesome, guys. I don't know how to say thanks. I love all you guys. Um, Again, I keep referring. I may change the name of the channel to Woodstock. I mean, social media Woodstock or social Woodstock, something along that line. I'm thinking about it. I went with Lady Hippy at the bar because when I first put in Lady Hippy, which I thought would just date me, and you know, everybody would know, hey, she's an old woman. So if you want to talk to her, you got to be like at least 90. So, and so finally, I saw these are young girls, and they're putting in Hippie, but it's Hippie. And we spelled hippie when I was growing up with a Y, not an IE, so mine's a Y. And even then, it wasn't quite getting the attention I wanted it to. So I said, well, and then I went, oh, I'm at the bar. So I threw in at the bar to differentiate it as for now, from the other hippie channels. God help someone who jumps on here and thinks there's a 20-year-old, they might have a heart attack. Oh my God. So that went off really well, and he gave us food to take home. I said, again, they had bought extra food and drink and so forth. So I only saw my granddaughter for a moment, and that was good enough. I got to see her for a minute. We had a great time, of course, with my son and my daughter-in-law. We always do. Every time I come over, she makes something special. to drink for me. And I love that. Either she does or my son does. They'll make up a drink or they'll make a drink they know I haven't had. And this one, she made a hurricane for me. And it was so good. It was just so good. And she just takes the ingredients and just throws them in there. It comes out perfect every time. I don't know how she does it, but she sent me the recipe because I asked, because I'd like to make that at the bar here. Um, and then, of course, we had bought them a set of mother of pearl shot glasses, and we know they don't really collect them like we did, but we thought they were nice. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, but we seem to have come up with this alcoholic line that we buy them at Christmas. I don't know. And this year we actually only bought a few things, and and I'm still seeing them around. So I just like to know that they're enjoying whatever gift we got. I hate giving everybody money; it's just silly. Just takes all the fun out of the season. I guess I still want to see those bright faces like were available when I was a little kid. If you got an orange in a sock, you was good to go. He reached sister after death with it too. I've been there, done that. I will never forget the Christmas I wanted white go-go boots and got out and there was those white go-go boots. And my parents were poor, and I didn't relate at that age. Finally, it was me and well, not really my sister, but me and my brother buying more gifts and putting, like our parents' names on them and stuff because it was getting hard. And they were not young when they took us. And so, I mean, kudos to, you're in your 60s and you're taking two young girls, even at 9 and 7. It's a job. I didn't then, but I'd had my kids and my grandkids. So, yeah, that's some work. And Mama was a stay-at-home wife, and I wasn't. Um, I was always out. And my chat line's still open. Guys, jump in there anytime. Come on, don't we have any baby boomers out there? No hippies? Come on. Surely there's none of you out there. Woodstock, of course, I only thought they'd have a couple hundred people, and 500,000 showed up. So that was something. I've seen, enough now on the news. I try to touch on what is coming up. Martha is worrisome. Um, we all know that that's where, I mean, they've kind of cornered them, but unfortunately, they didn't let the Palestinian civilians go. Now, again, I can't say that these civilians are not without at least culpability. You know what happened on October 7th? But they have at least 12 that were caught on cameras and security cameras and so forth. And they know who did take part. And they were working at the UN buildings, the hospitals, the mosques, the elementary schools. And so it was on the security feed that they ran in there in women's clothing with RPGs and AK-47s and run through the entrance back toward the ICU, back for that tunnel. So this is such a warren of tunnels. And they came out in people's refrigerators, in their bedrooms, in their backyards, at the schools. I'm talking inside the school. Open the trap door. They're not. This is it's and they keep screaming that it's a crime, but they're not saying this to the Palestinians who saw this going on. And yeah, I can see that they might have been afraid somebody'd shoot them, but had they gone to Assad or anybody, they would have helped them. They would have hit them. They would have done what they had to. If anyone could have spoke up and stopped that slaughter, it would have been the workers that were embedded in the UN. And we now know that the billions we've given them in aid over the past decade was used to build their military, build their terrorists, build that wall. I mean, build that tunnel. And it's not, I can't, we keep saying it, the tunnel, and I'm sure people are seeing just this, like dark place. This is concrete walls and electricity, and you could cook, you could shower, you could and have glass proof doors, and these are everywhere. I mean, it's just a warren of them everywhere. So they had plenty of time and money to do this. And apparently, an engineer will tell them how to do it because there's air, there's everything, and there's lighting. Unless they don't want you to have it, which is the way they were treating the hostages. For the few that have gotten out, that raped as many as it's horrific. And yet, I'm looking at them carrying out those babies' bodies in a plastic bag, and and it's all I can do not to throw something at the TV and get a ticket. I know again they're all in Wafa. Well, they have to go to the Wafa. They don't have a choice. If they don't stop Hamas this time, and mind you, this is 75 years. This is why they had the anecdote. These guys get missiles landed on a daily basis. Can you imagine that happening in the United States and say from Canada and us not putting a stop to it like overnight? I can't. I don't care how many. I don't care if they had to do a volunteer, get rid of it, pull in the draft. That would have been handled. But and they are backing Israel and the Ukraine still to the best of their ability. I can't say that as much debt as our country is and that we should be sending money, but even weaponry is money. Um, I don't know what the answer is. I've searched many books over the past month and a half or so since October 7th. Besides the several Bibles that I have, and I've searched the Quran. I mean, the stuff that's been happening is literally ticking the boxes off. It seems to me that no matter which one I pick up, if there's an end time warning or if we find that they had been asked the question, these teachers, masters, however you want to call them, it's just ticking the boxes. Sahara Desert has become an oasis all over. All over. I saw water shooting out of sand dunes. I saw water shooting up from the sands. I mean, just it's created a new river. I've seen the rivers turn red overnight before this happened. I saw the locusts that hit them at the Hajj, at the Cube in Mecca. I mean, at what point do we go? You're like, anybody? Something right, something wrong. I mean, it's like I keep hearing it saying something evil this way comes. I mean, it's something else. I also wanted to point out that Franklin Graham and the ministries they knew that they had taken, I think it was 15 ambulances, and they brought brand new bulletproof ambulances to them. And I had to stop watching because I was going to cry. The names of the ones that were killed in that line of duty, they were ambulance drivers. They were taking up patients. They were trying to save lives, and they were murdered. And they put their names on the vehicles, on the ambulances. Mm, pardon me, yeah, sticky throat. And so that was almost overwhelming. Our country has stepped up on both of these areas because they were attacked without reason, warning, nothing, and they're attacking civilians. You can't do that. That's not an army. It's assassins. It's terrorists. I mean, pirate. Just to me, if you go pirate, I know exactly it's bad. Yeah, don't have to say anything else. So I popped in there, and like I said, checked all that out. Had the great weekend. Missed my grandkids. Hope my baby girl's okay today. And I hate to call her because if they did stay home, I don't want to. Oh yeah, they did. Today's a holiday. That's right. It's President's Day. So good. They're all home and resting. I hope because they both work very hard and long hours. And let's see, what else did I want to touch on today? Mm, anybody want to guess? Nuts. I was going to take some ideas on it. Well, we're going to give a shout out to the Israelis and to Mr. Graham, Franklin Graham, for what they did. It's one of the biggest miracles that I've seen since this has started. Besides it, there have been miracles. There really have. And now he steps forward and replaces it, and they're bulletproof. But they also, to me, the more important thing was that they carried the name of their last drivers. These aren't the same vehicles, of course, but that these men and women fell in basically the line of duty. It's the same line of duty. If there's somebody shooting and you go up there to get the guy they shot, you may die too. So as far as I'm concerned, they're all heroes. So and kindness undoes me. You can yell at me all day long. That's not going to hurt me a bit. But if you're kind to me and you come up and you hold on my arm or something and say, I'm sorry, this is I'm going to cry. Kindness for some reason makes me cry. So I try to tell people, just don't do that. You won't like it if I cry either. So I've seen some information on Yellowstone. And I don't know people, in the last decade, I'll go to the 21st century, they thought the Yellowstone had one caldera, and it had only one lava section. And it was pretty big. And if it ever went, it was gonna be a problem. And in this century, they had more technology now. And when they were checking, they found two more lava chambers that are huge. Now, the last time it blew, it's many thousands of years ago, it's due, it's actually overdue. And if Yellowstone goes, it's going to take 6, 7 states with it instantly. It's that big. And so I'm a little worried about that. The sleeping prophet, Mr. Edgar Casey, had warned that climate changes would come, and they are, and they have. And the ice sheets are melting so fast that they're showing the pictures for say 5 years ago. There's no snow at all now, and this was a 5 foot wall of a glacier up there. So that's bothering me. Not for me, but I got my grandkids. We all do. So I try to pick all those out. I saw where again Danny Masterson um, is going to have a really hard time in prison. He's purportedly being sent to one of the worst prisons in the United States. That a lot of people just get beat up every day. They do not like child molesters, and I don't blame them. I'm saying people in prison. This was another gentleman who'd been in this exact prison they're sending Danny Masterson to. They don't like women being raped. They don't like you hurting a child, and I'm not sure about the rest. But those two, they it's a bad thing. It's just a bad thing. So I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know. They said from what this person said who had been in that prison, he could keep paying money for them to protect him, but he didn't see a Scientologist joining with the Muslim Brotherhood either. And he said nobody, not any other affiliation, messes with the Muslims ever. But he couldn't see Danny Masterson doing that. I hope in some ways he does. I didn't follow the trial, but I still haven't, in my mind, had without a shadow of a doubt, and I believe it without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, dead certain. And I don't have that. This was 20 years ago. It supposedly happened. And I still go supposedly because I'm not being convinced. I can't say it happened. I can't say it didn't happen. It's to me, it's hearsay. It's he said, she said, he said, she said. You don't have some legalese, for God's sake. And if I don't, I'll pick up a law library book. For God's sake, look at that. This boy got 30 years on the testimony of 3 women from 20 years ago. But apparently there were other people that stepped forward that said they had heard it, they'd been told. I don't know. But the boy is, and he's 40, I think they said. And his sentence was 30 years. So that's life, basically. And again, I didn't see any evidence. So probably wouldn't have been a good judge. And I have had one recused from the bench, just so you know. Watching a thing on Karen's yesterday. If I ever want to get even with somebody, I won't take him in public and be a Karen. That's the funniest stuff I've ever seen. They're all huffy and puffy, and you can't touch me. And they had one girl in there, a big girl, young. Don't you start me up, you head of fist. Don't you get me wound up like this. And I'm like, have you seen a taser? They're not fun. You'll need to change your clothes because you're going to wet your pants. You keep fighting them, just keep hitting you. I think they're funny as heck. I really do. With these new cams, and you see, a lot of us, me included, did not realize how far these officers bend over to not insult you, to let you do things like kick them, hit them, spit on them. I mean, they try really, really hard to not lose their patience. Had it been me as an officer, I wouldn't have waited a week. Nah, I hit somebody in the mouth for sure. Mm. For some reason, I can't never tell. Since I had those done, my depth perception just is, so I'm trying to see down here, and it seems it's up here, but it's a mess. I'll tell you. Mm. If I don't do these well, this much longer, I got to get onto the VA and make appointments, and I've been putting that off for a week. Um, I did call the mammography people back because they said it would. I had to call them within 14 days, so I called them on Friday. I didn't get a call back. All three of the extensions. I left a message for each of the three nurses on their numbers. So everybody left early, I think. I get a kick on them because they have this attitude with you. If you cancel and then you call back to that section so you can recancel, I have a very good reason for a cancel. I don't usually cancel. So you got to go back through the well, you don't deserve disappointment. We're going to give it to you anyway. I mean, they have that attitude. I love these guys. I'm civil service and you're not. I'm like, freaking, I could teach you a thing or two, but I'm not going to bother. There's certain things, but I didn't realize about my father said I would. That when you get to a certain age, you really just don't give a crap. You don't. I've never really given a crap what people thought of me. If you don't like me, you don't have to deal with me. You know, asked and answered, no problem. And my grandma, my grandson says, "Grandma, you don't like people." I was like, "No, I don't really like most people." I was born with the ability, almost like an animal, to just know instantly that you don't want to be around that person. And if I get that vibe, I'm not around that person. And I'm almost always invariably proved right about that person, whether they be family members or just high neighbors. You can tell. It's kind of like in the aura all the time, anyway. People know what aura is. People even know what curling and photography is, and that's the ones, of course, that you use and you film uh, the aura. And I thought it was so cute. I saw a program the other day where the ones that they've got this camera will show you everything is live, everything has an aura. And I was like, and I think this when I was 15, that's not new technology. It's awesome technology, but it's not new. And my favorite was when they would, and this is why I go crazy about my plants and talk to them because everything's alive. And they would snip off the leaf, and I'm like, "Ugh." It's like, let's show some pain so we can prove this machine works. I don't like that. So of course, then they take the picture before they cut the leaf, and it's just fine. And they cut the leaf in half, and they take the picture again, and the leaf is still outlined where it had been before they cut it off. Kind of like if you lose a lemon, they say it's phantom pain because that hurts and it's not there. And I can relate with that as well. Anything else gets fake, I'm going to stop wearing makeup. It's just freaking great. So it's all this going on, yeah, and I'm not seeing we hippies, we baby boomers, taking advantage of the social media parts that we can do. I see people like Joe Rogan and them, and they're perfect in the positions they're at, and they're great guys. I watched them when they were stand-up comedians. Shay Shay, I like his podcast. He does a good job. I believe he was formerly a football player. Funny man. I like Casper's site with Ben. He drops videos in from that are paranormal and reacts to them. And I don't think I think maybe one time he went on a ghost story. He just loves that stuff, though. And he's so cute. People send him gifts of the nicest thing, about his side. They'll do a picture somehow of Casper's side, or uh, just little catchphrases he has. Do da diddly day. I love that one. Do da diddly day. He's got that one. So I mean, he's from Britain. I don't think he's in London, but he might be. In any event, he's very good. And there are a few other twin paranormal. I think I've mentioned a few before. So, I mean, if anybody wants to understand or wants to talk about the paranormal, I would love that. I love the paranormal. So, if I am surfing, I'm looking for a couple of things to catch up on. The rest of the time, I'm usually watching some ghost series or whatever podcast is covering videos that were captured showing something strange. And boy, we got a bunch of those. The ones that I've heard that really got my hackles up on the back of my neck were the sounds that nobody could figure out where they were coming from. It sounded like trumpets, like millions of trumpets. I mean, houses are reverberating from these sounds. And they don't go on for long. I mean, it might be 20 minutes or something, but what the heck that is, I don't know. And to me, it sounds like those big horns, the ram horns that you see like in a medieval picture kind of thing. And it's something. People have opened the windows and stuff, and you can't see nothing, but this sound is out there. Sometimes it sounds like the earth is screaming. It's the strangest phenomena I've run across in all my years of studying. I've also noticed that this I'm not sure what CERN did, but I know Jiffy was not Jiff. It was Jiffy when I grew up because they only had Skippy and Jiffy. That's it. Yeah, Monopoly. Yeah, the guy had a monocle. I mean, the Mandela effect is real. One guy had one of the Berenstein's books, and I call them Berenstein's because that's the way I was raised with them, and raised my grandkids and some of them. But this guy would go from one of in the threshold of his bedroom, and it would go Berenstein. And he would come out and he's moving at 6 inches, and it's back to Berenstein. Berenstein, Berenstein, and you'll see it blur, and then the letters will come out different. So it's like, riddle me that, Batman. That one, I've seen even scarier ones, and really scary because they involve children that are looking in the mirror, and their dad's and these are children, maybe 2, 3, 4 years old, maybe up to 5. But I've seen several of these clips where they're, looking in the mirror, and then the mom or dad is talking to them or whatever, and the kid will turn to look at the parent, and the guy in the mirror don't. And this is being recorded live. The parents are doing something, and the kid turns, but the image now, you know better. Yeah, this is Pixie leaving. If I can get her to. Little brat. So I don't know what's up with that either. There's there's so much we could all talk about. I mean, literally, what's going to happen next? You got the southern border. We're being overrun. And yet the government that stopped it was working. What Trump had done, it was working. They were staying on that side too. They didn't say, we weren't saying, and we still don't say, we're not going to let you come over. We're saying you got to do it this way and that way. This is how everybody else does it. So do you. And yet I've seen a sea of people, literally a sea of people that are walking across. I mean, you've got to secure the borders. There's no other way to put that. You have to secure your borders always. I don't care what country you are. It's like Egypt right now. I can understand they can't take 1 million people. But other Arabic speaking nations should be able to get down. Sorry. And they haven't. They seem to be able to negotiate, but they don't seem to be able to help them. They need more and they're in 10 cities. Get down. Pixie, get down. They're in 10 cities that now in Rafah, and now the IDF has had to go in there because that's where the Hamas is. I mean, there could be 3 to 4 battalions, they think, left of Hamas. And for those of you who are not veterans or military, there's a lot of folk. We'll just put it that way. It's not 2 or 3 people. Um, 4 or 5 battalions is an army still, especially today. Because I've seen them leaning out of windows of burnt out buildings or whatever and setting off RPGs on the tanks and the men trying to walk with the tanks to give them cover. It's got to stop. The people themselves need to rise up and take these people down. If 10 of the civilians go after one guy and they don't know, they're they're going to take him down. Don't do it where somebody else knows. Start taking them out yourself, one by one. You've got nothing left behind you. You can't move back because there's nothing standing. Rafah is it. It's the last one. And it's going to fall, and it's already been falling, which hence the tent cities. Um, Egypt is not doing anything, and I think that's barbaric. I really do. They could help these people. It's not that big a country, no, but they could at least make it where these guys could be helped and go down further into Africa, whatever they got to do. Because once you cross into Egypt, you're in Africa. And even I'm not sure how those work. But at some point, somebody has to let the people out there. Because Hamas, they have to take Hamas. They have to. 75 years of this is too long. 75 years that NATO and the UN said nothing. Except for Israel, you got to stop fighting. You got to live a two-state. Not once has Israel instituted any aggression at Palestine until after they killed a bunch of people at a soft target. Now, I know y'all know what a soft target is. It's a bunch of kids on a bus going to school. It's a bunch of kids dancing in the desert. No, they don't have weaponry. They don't have training. They're slaughtered. And 75 years is too much to pay for that. I can't see the United States doing it for a minute, let alone 75 freaking years. These are the people, 6 million were killed in those concentration camps. 6 million. And they're still here. So God has to be protecting them somehow. Because during World War II, I was shocked after World War II that there were any left alive. Any. Even the Pope was complicit in giving them those of the Jewish faith. Even the Pope back then. The Pope, Saint Pope John Paul II was just a regular monk back then, but he kept preaching. He stayed with us long. So, at least that's what I've been told. But there's actual footage of the Pope, hugging Hitler kind of thing. So, they were very complicit. Yes, they were. That's also when, what's his name, took the office. Strutting monkey, I can't think of his name offhand. But that's when Vatican didn't own Italy no more. They just owned a couple hundred feet around the Vatican. Because before that, these guys fielded armies. I don't think that's taught either. I mean, I know in the Catholic faith, when you go and you're getting preached at, like you haven't read that or something, or you can't read that, so somebody's got to preach it to you. I hate that. Don't you assume I ain't read that, know it by heart, and know it better than you, and I don't have to use the book to read it from. That annoys the crap out of me. I hate somebody reading to me. It's like, it's like nails on a blackboard to me. I can't stand it. And my husband does it occasionally, and then he'll see me, and he'll stop. It's like, it's the red hair, folks. People that know me, they go, okay, she's going to blow. And I usually do. This morning I thought I was going to be so stiff, and I was so right. So I get the coffee going, I get in the shower, and I'm like, oh, ow. Stand in that spot because the hot one is in it. I hurt everywhere from that fall yesterday. And like I said, I actually hid some of the damage to my face, and my arm is just about perfect. But I have a brace I could put on, but that's just going to irritate it because the bruise of where it is. So. Yes, I tend to relate these a lot. That's why I like them. I've seen a couple other people I was talking to this about doing podcasts, and a lot of them are going, "Well, what do you do?" Like, yeah, I get up there and I talk about what's important, what's going on, what's in the regular news. What do you want to talk about? Maybe they'll throw in the comments, keep live chat up, you know. And they're like, "But who do you know is watching?" I said, "I don't." I don't know if anybody's watching. I also posted to Facebook. Anybody that's on YouTube, they put Lady Hippy at the bar. They didn't have to, even though it was streamed live, it's still there. You can still pull it up on YouTube. And I gotta admit, a little disappointed at the turnout from family and friends, but not too much. I don't think they thought I would do it. So I have to go with, they really don't know me very well, do they? I will not stop. I know there's more hippies out there, and I know we baby boomers have something to say, that we have a lot to say, that we need to say. Tomorrow is not a given. It's just not. Throw those likes in there, guys. I know it's entertainment purposes only, but I thought it was kind of funny. Just a little bit. I'm funny to myself. That's good enough. Yeah, so when I first got up this morning after that fall, I thought for sure, and I mean, just taking a step, my eyelashes hurt. It's one of them days again. And I'm thinking, how many days did I did this? Is a week. And every other time I wake up in the morning, moving even my eyelashes hurt. So what's going on here? And I had done all, thank God, I had finished all the laundry before I went flying. It was so cute of Robert trying to catch me and my face planting into his knee. And bone luckily does not shatter, so but it does leave marks. At our age, we bruise like bananas. You look at it, it's a bruise. So one of those things was going on. And my husband says, I know you love doing your podcast. Do you think you're going to be up to doing that this morning? Because I was like, ooh, I couldn't move hardly for a little while. And I have, as you know, medication to take for that, but my back was so bad. It's the worst it's been since I hadn't gone to the doctor for about a year or so, trying to treat it with holistic medicine. And it just built the pain built so much I couldn't take it. It was, yeah. I now understand why people say that they don't want to stay anymore because the pain is so bad. It really is. And I love this. I can tell by what's on here. And when this goes off, that I've just about put it in the can all I can. So I really, 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 really wish you guys would say something. Talk to me. I got friends on Facebook. I can't come after you. I ain't gonna hurt you. Don't matter what you've heard. I'm not that mean. I will be here all week, however. I guess again I look at my timer and I say, oh geez, time's up, I had another friend say, and you don't even like to stop doing. You like doing this. That's how I love doing this. This technology is amazing. It gives us a chance to be social Woodstock. So when you guys catch me either live or if you just pull up and you watch a couple minutes, you tickle that like. It takes 1 second and it throws me up and up and up until I've met enough of the algorithm to keep my channel on YouTube. So I really, really, really wish you guys would say, "Oh, let's feel sorry for her. Hit a like." You don't have to watch it; just hit the like. There was something else I was going to ask everybody, but I can't recall what it is. I see I'm getting uh, some off Facebook, but they're not my live chat line, so I'll get back to them. Um, that's what it was the southern border. So if anybody else is like me, and we don't want a civil war, then it's now time for us to raise our voices, guys. What is going on in Arizona, New Mexico, California, Texas? It is so bad that New York. I don't know why they were sending it to New York. Just so expensive to live. But they were sending them to New York, so it got so bad that last week they wouldn't let the buses run, had the buses blocked, so no other bus could get in or out. Even New York, and I believe New Jersey, same thing. I'm not sure, but it's so bad that these states are so trying to stop this massive, almost American distinction, is what I think of it as. So if anybody out there uh, sees that, send a message, send a nicely worded email to your senator, because they're trying real hard to help. I'm sorry that you've seen the Florida governor drop out of the race, Mr. DeSantis. I liked him, and he's been a good governor of Florida. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law live there. They're going to be moving. Their son bought some land and everything, and he's put it together so they can go live there. And now Robert has bought the RV, and we're putting in the new furniture and stuff into that. So, in between doing the house, which is, the upstairs is just getting started, the stairs need to be finished. But he's only one man. And he's going to be 69 in a few months, because the kids and the grandkids work. It's not that they don't want to assist. It's just that they haven't got time. I can see my bruising. I'm wrong sinus over here. Everything's backwards. In any event, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me opine about a bunch of stuff, but I sure wish I would jump on here. I would love to talk to some people about, hey, what's the new Bible about? What did they change it? Which Bible should we read? Who's the false church? How do we figure out which one? All of you, before I get off this, those of you who read your Bibles and don't like me preach that, if you haven't seen the Left Behind series, there's 28 books, and it's the best rendering I have ever seen about what would happen if the rapture happened, and told in our time, our language. And it's the best series I've read in my life, other than Eric Von Daniken and Mr. Casey. Those three are my go guys. I mean, if anybody wants to talk about those, pop in there. If you just want to talk about how bad I wear my makeup, jump in that chat. Jump in. You're not a funny lady. Okay. Anything, pop in that like, please, 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 please. As I see some of us do. I may start having guests, but then again, the people that I was going to have for guests, suddenly their lives are falling apart too. Life is not an easy thing. It's not a given. Today is not even a given. I mean, I hurt like crazy. Yes, I could tell my husband, yes, I adore doing these. Yes, I don't see anyone. I do get comments. I do get viewers. Um, I do get likes. And but without the chat line, the comment line, um, I can't reach out to you. And I want to reach out to everybody that I want to reach out to my age group. I know that we have a lot to talk about. Government might not like it. I've served the government all my life. I'm retired now. And I think that it's time to realize and speak together and openly about the fact that this is not our government. These are our jailers. These are our thieves. These are the people that are doing everything illegal under the sun. These are the people that are trying to destroy our country from the inside out and doing a blooming good job at it. So get up there, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I usually do this between 10 and noon every day. So if you want on the live stream, subscribe and you'll know that I'm live and at what time or whatever. Or cruise, YouTube. You can find me. If you can't find me, if I don't pop up, just search. Put in Lady Hippy with the Y instead of IE at the bar. And there I am. Which I tell you, that took me back to look at. See my ugly mug up there just a token. When I turned it on one time, I had been doing it for about a month, and I had done that. I just said I didn't need the editing done. It was posted to Facebook. I had not seen it on television, and we have these huge flat screens, and so of course when I turned it on and saw me, I almost went screaming from the house. So they can't be me. It was. Well, I guess I'll have to get off of here. It's not bothering everybody. But I sure want all of you all to come bother me. And I know, I mean, believe me, without even the little bit of help I've already got, I couldn't have gotten this far. And I can't thank all of you enough. And I can't wait to talk to you guys, to hear what's going on. I know I'm not a lone voice in the desert. Jump in here, guys. Give me a hand. Come and talk to me. Let's remind ourselves and remind the world that we're not worthless. We might be retired, but we are not worthless. We have something to say, and maybe, just maybe, what we're saying when we get together, and I am going to call it Social Woodstock, maybe we can make some changes. Maybe not. Maybe not. I used to have these discussions back in the 70s. Is barcodes, is this, is all that? And it is. I worked a second job as a cashier going through college, and you had to push the buttons. You didn't know what it was. You had to give them a change bag. It wasn't a barcode. Now you go to the hospital, you're a barcode. They come in, they go, tip, and they walk back out. They don't say nothing to you. When I was a nurse, you washed the patient down every day, washed their hair every other day, cleaned their bedding every day with them in it. I mean, I don't, and now if you want to say something about can I get clean sheets, it's well, you have to call the janitors. They can't even freaking do that for you. I don't know why they're called nurses; they're barcode readers. And of course, your physicians, they say they're your physician, they're your primary doctor, are just PAs, a physician's assistant, but you're still supposed to call them doctor. I love that. Y'all are getting to know me. You know I'm being facetious. Oh, well, here I go again. Okay, I got to go. I hate to, I really do. I look at my live stream every time. I hope somebody jumps on there. Not yet, but I do believe I'll find you. And I'm not going to quit looking. So go out there and kick Monday's butt since it's a holiday. And if you do see me, like I said, like, dislike, please share. We need some people to see this. And I've got thick skin. I know people aren't going to like everything I got to say, might not like nothing I got to say. I sure like to give it a go. Enjoy meeting other people, and even I can even drop videos if you want to do it that way. Just get back to me. Come up here and see me at the bar. It's a big bar. We have lots of stuff. And no, I mean, I appreciate all of you, and I can't say thank you enough. So go out there and have a beautiful day. Don't forget me, guys. Plus, benefits can be paid within 24 hours, and unlike some policies, are payable from day one.